Sorry about that, y'all. My router for Comcast is down, so I had to switch over to my other one, my old, what I call my old school router. I have a little backup one that's a lot older, but hey, it still works. So, anyway, y'all, thank you so much for being here early. It is going to be so hot. So, I want to get this out of the way early. And that way, I got other upcoming lives that are, I believe I got one at either 1:45 or 3:45. Boy, I really got Alzheimer's this morning. So, anyway, y'all, it's good to see you all here. I hope you're doing well. Shabbat Shalom to everybody in the chat. Shabbat Shalom. Keep praying, keep repenting, because after this 250-year anniversary, I can see a lot of things declining for America. Now, they're already giving us a warning over what could turn into a food crisis if they're unable to get fertilizer here. Now, they're trying to get some from Morocco. Now, how much of it is there, I don't know. But I know some of the farmers are panicking because they feel like it may not be here in time for them. So, hey, it is what it is. So we're seeing a lot of signs. Look, this 200-year anniversary, Donald Trump is in South Dakota. He's not even in DC. And as you can see, it's falling apart already. It's falling apart. It is just not going well at all. All praises to the Most High, because we know He is the one that's turning up the heat on them. They can't stand it. I was reading reports where people were out there and passed out from the heat. There's children out there too. And they always give warnings about the elderly and children whenever the weather is extremely hot. So we're seeing it already. We're seeing it. This is not going the way they thought it would. They poured millions into it. Although, I got reports that Donald Trump and his rich buddies stole a lot of the money. So we'll get into that another time. And that's why the 250-year anniversary, the whole setup down there looks so cheap. There's a reason why it looks cheap. So, y'all, let's get into today's lesson. Infinity, the eighth day. All right, let me share my screen. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you.
Our class is Infinity, introducing the eighth day man. And we're going to open up in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, and we're going to read 38 through 40.
All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 15.
Oh, Salak, y'all, brother. Let me share the scripts. My apologies.
Yep.
All right, verse 38. Let's go ahead and share. We should be good to go.
All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 38. But Elohim gives it a body as it has pleased him, and to every seed his own body. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there's one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds.
All right. So again, Yah says he created things as it has pleased him. Okay. So if he created a man with a spirit that's supposed to live forever, and he created another man with a carnal, beastly like spirit that is only going to live for his carnal life, that's his choice. Yah wills that. So you can't force anybody to be anything that Yah did not create them to be. And it says all flesh is not the same. Just because you are flesh don't mean that you are an animal flesh or a bird or fish, whatever. They're all different. Yah created them and created the order of them.
Verse 40. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
All right, so
there's one glory.
You have the celestial bodies. So that those are the things that are outside of that are in the stars, basically the celestial, the stars, right? Then you have the terrestrial bodies that are inside the earth. So that's terrestrials, the earth, right? So you have the things that's in the earth and then the things that are in the sky, the heavens, right? So what would extraterrestrial be? That would be something outside of the land. All right. So you have those three different classifications. We're not all the same. All right. So I just wanted to show that. Let's move on. Let's go to Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8. So we're not all the same. You have some things that were created for the heavens and things that are created for the earth. And even the things on the earth are made in their own way, in their own form. Romans chapter 8, I just want to read 4 through 8. This is kind of a mini introduction.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 4. That the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit.
All right. So do you think a dog is wondering, hey, you know what? Is it unleavened bread? Should I be eating this biscuit? Does it have bread in it? Let me thank the Most High Yah for this dog food that my master done gave. Animals are not thinking like that. Animals and carnal beasts are only considered with things of the flesh, the things that it was designed to do. Because again, all flesh is not made the same. One manner of flesh is a fish, another is this, so forth and so on. And some things are celestial in the heavens, and some things are terrestrial on the earth. So the beast-like creatures, they are only considered with that. Period. And Yah determines if you are a fish or you are a spirit being man or you are a carnal man. Yah decides that.
Okay, verse 6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace.
All right.
Because the carnal mind.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Because the carnal mind is enmity against Elohim, for it is not subject to the law of Elohim, neither indeed can be.
All right. So it can't be subject to the spiritual laws of Yah. It's subject to every other law. I don't care what animal it is, if it is not designed to withstand something, the laws that Yah created of science is going to affect it. Like a bird flies, right? But if you cut his wings off and throw it in the air, it's not going to fly. It's going to fall like everything else that is not designed to do that. So it cannot be subject to the spiritual things, the spiritual laws. There's nothing you can do. This is purely Yah's decision. All right, so let's move from there. So the next thing we want to do, I just wanted to cover that basic introduction. Let's go to the book of Genesis. No, I'm sorry. Deuteronomy, Deuteronomy chapter 4. And we're going to start that at verse 1. We're going to get into Torah. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. And we're going to read 1 through 31. And Shabbat Shalom, Sis Stephanie Hicks. Good to see you. And Shabbat Shalom to my lovely wife, Sister Tafar.
All right, Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 1. Now therefore hearken, O Yasharal, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them that you may live, and go in and possess the land which Yahweh Elohim of your fathers gives you. You shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you diminish aught from it, that you may keep the commandments of Yahweh your Elohim which I command you. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did because of Baal Peor. For all the men that follow Baal Peor, Yahweh your Elohim has destroyed them from among you. But you that did cleave unto Yahweh your Elohim are alive, every one of you, this day. Behold, I've taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my Elohim commanded me, that you should do so in the land where you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
All right, so keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations. So the regular understanding, the carnal understanding of the things that we've created and learned over years of, how to start a fire, how to cook food, how to eat, how to build a house, how to do different things are all the wisdom of this world to survive and to make money and to prosper. Then there's another level of understanding, which is for your salvation, which is for your eternal life. The carnal beast is not concerned with eternity. He's concerned with today and right now. So Yah is telling us this is your wisdom, because this is not only going to help you live in the carnal world, it's going to help you live in the spiritual world, thus even extending your carnal life. Shabbat Shalom, sis.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 7. For what nation is there so great, who has Elohim so near unto them, as Yahweh Elohim is in all things that we can call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I set before you this day? Only take heed to yourself and keep your soul diligently, lest you forget the things which your eyes have seen, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life. But teach them your sons and your sons' sons.
Okay, so we're talking about teaching this subset of wisdom that is beyond carnal wisdom, a spiritual wisdom that's supposed to be passed down from son to son, from a father to father, from mother to daughter. This is supposed to be passed down into our lineage. And we're going to discuss why these things are being passed down. Tamshi?
Verse 10. Especially the day that you stood before Yahweh your Elohim in Horeb, when Yahweh said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children.
And that they may teach their children. We're going to discuss why. Why does he focused on teaching this to our kids? Let's drop down to verse 15.
Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 15. Take you therefore good heed unto yourselves, for you saw no manner of similitude on the day that Yahweh spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire. Lest you corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image, the similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any beast that is on the earth, the likeness of any winged fowl that flies in the air, the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the waters beneath the earth.
All right, so he's telling you, don't create these things for a reason. And when he's talking about a graven image, when we look at the definition for that, so that, you got people overboard, so you can't even have a picture of a bird or something like that. You got an idol. Well, let's see what a graven image is. A pasel, H6459, pasel, that is an idol, a carved graven image. So this is something that is carved to be what an idol is, something that you're worshiping, that is a symbolic design of some deity or entity, not just, hey, this is a lion, because we had to have a standard. When he's talking about setting up a standard for all the tribes had to have some kind of symbol representing this is Judah, this is Simeon, this is Levi. And the Most High gave us what that looked like. And we had to physically make something to represent. So when people came, they would see that. Now, nobody looked at that and said, oh, that's this lion, that's literally Judah. No, that is symbolic of the lion tribe. So that's the difference between an idol, that this is symbolic of, like, we take a line and say, this is Yah. Now you've created an idol. That's not Yah. That's a carved image of a lion, which represents the tribe of Judah. But if you now say that this is Yah, or that's literally the tribe of Judah, now you have created an idol. So let's look at what this similitude that he says. You have seen no similitude. So if we look at that Hebrew word, all right, so it said, take heed, you saw no manner of similitude in verse 15. We saw no matter of what. The Hebrew word for that is temunah, H8544, temunah. That's something that is proportioned or shaped, phantom, embodiment, manifestation. So let's take a look at that and see what that means. So we're talking about something that is fashioned after that. That's like a replica. For example, if we take a replica of a Lamborghini and we create a scaled model of that, that's a replica. That's not the Lamborghini. It's not going to be worth $400,000 or whatever. It's not going to go 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. It's a replica. So he said, look, take heed. When I came to you in the clouds, there was no replica of me. There was nothing to say, look, this is what Yah looks like. You say he looked like a lightning bolt. He looked like smoke. He looked like loud trumpet noise. He did that for a reason. All right, Tamshi. Oh, wait a minute. We got a couple comments. Good to see my brother Dre Day. Haven't seen you in a couple classes, brother. Good to see you. Leviticus, Wayakra, chapter 20 and verse 26. And it says, and you shall be holy unto me, for I, Yahweh, am holy and have severed you from other people that you should be mine. He has said, these are all the carnal creatures that were created in the earth. And you, Israel, I'm taking you, this carnal creature, and I'm pulling you out of that category and putting you into the category where you're both. You are the carnal and the spiritual, so that you could be the example to pull out the rest of the remnant that he's going to pull out of the other nations that are going to be spiritual beings to live forever. And Shabbat Shalom, sis Ariel, good to see you. And as always, Shabbat Shalom to my big brother, Aaron Hicks. Good to see you, family.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 19. Unless you lift up your eyes unto heaven, and when you see the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven should be driven to worship them and serve them, which Yahweh your Elohim has divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
So he allowed the other nations to be carried off, because if you look at the sun, it's amazing. He gives us life. He gives us melanin. We are literally made out of melanin. Liquid melanin is evaporated liquid melanin is sunshine. It's literally sunlight. It's called a melanocyte. So when it's in a liquid form, it's in our skin, our color. So we are of the sun. So you can see how logically you could think that the Most High is the sun. Or look at the moon, how beautiful it is. Look at the stars. Look at the sky. Oh, that's the Most High. That's him. That's what he looked like. That's what a carnal mind would think, because it's greater than you. It gives you life. You didn't understand everything, but not you, Israel. He explained to you and said to you, nah, that's not it. This is it. So we shouldn't be taken like the other nations and thinking that the Most High or his son is physically the son. They are servants, just like we are. All right, so let's go ahead and stop right there. Let's move on. So we saw what a similitude is. He said there was no manner of similitude. There was no shape as a representation of what I look like so that you can say, hey, the Most High is a fat guy, or the Most High is a skinny guy, or the Most High got an afro, or Most High got, no, it was none of that. All right, so now let's go to Genesis. Bereshit, chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1. Because what I'm trying to break down here is the classifications that he's given us. We saw that you have classification of celestial in the heavens and terrestrial on the earth. The earth is the land that he created, right? Extraterrestrial is outside of that land he created. What's outside of the land? Water. What's outside of the celestial? Water. So things in the water might not necessarily be truly classified as terrestrial. That might be what real aliens are. Yeah, question? Oh, okay. Praise God. So we're at Genesis, and let's start this on verse 23, just for context. So you had the creation, and now we're going into the 6th day. So I just want to show that we're finishing the 5th day.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 23. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day.
All right, just for time's sake, I'm kind of speeding through this because this is kind of a long class, but just to give the paraphrase for context, we already know Genesis chapter 1 is the creation. First day was light. The second day is like the firmament. The third day is the land. The fourth day is the fish and the birds. And then, excuse me, wait a minute, let me refix that. First day is the light. Then you have the second day, you have the earth, right? You got the land, the earth, right? Then the third day, fourth day, you have the sun, moon, and stars, remember? Then the 5th day is where we're at right now. You have the fish of the sea, the birds. So now we're going to the 6th day. And this is the 6th day creation, the 6th day man. And this is the contrast to what we're trying to explain in the 8th day. All right, verse 24.
And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so.
Okay, so on the 6th day, the beasts are being created. What day were we physically created as man? The 6th day. We are no different than any of these other beasts that are four-legged or us two-legged that walk upright. We are just merely beasts created on this day, and all flesh is different. All right.
Verse 25. And Elohim made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image, in the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female created he them.
All right, so let's break this down. There's a lot of important terms right here. First of all, we need to understand who Elohim is. All right, so Elohim is the plurality of God. So these are the mighty ones. The heavenly powers are what they're talking about here. The Most High is a host of spirits, and he's called the Most High for a reason. And he can sliver his spirit into whatever usage that he wants and create whatever entity that he wants. But it all comes from his source. There is no other source than him. So the source that he created, the source that he's using are the angels here that are creating right now. All right. So they're creating in their own image. So let's see what this word image is so that we can understand, because man will take image in English and think, so, well, the Most High look like us then. He's a man, right? All right. So the word for image is Salem, H6754, Salem. And that's a phantom. That is an illusion or resemblance, a idol, an image, a show. All right. So what's the difference? All right. So you have a replica in Temunah. So this is something that is like not the person, but it's like a wax statue. It looks like them. But now you have image. Image is different. The Hebrew word for image is going to be Salem, and this Salem is more of a symbol. It's more of a symbol. So this is supposed to represent. So they created something to represent them as a symbol. For example, if I say they put the cross is a symbol that they like to use. The symbol of the cross is literally the symbol for death. It means death. But does death physically look like a cross? No. It was an instrument of death, but death is death. We don't know what it looks like. Another example, when you have a plus sign, it's a symbol for addition or positive. Is that what positive looks like? It don't look like a plus. That's the symbol that we use. So again, he's creating us in the symbol of the mighty ones. We are symbolic of what the mighty ones will look like. Not what they look like. They are invisible. They are angels. We are to be the symbol to represent what that spirit would look like. All right, Tamshi.
Verse 28. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. And Elohim said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And Elohim saw every morning that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day.
Hallelujah. So this is all happening on the sixth day. So this is the sixth day creation. We all come into this earth, part of this create. We all came here the same way, like beasts, like animals. That little horizontal polka was done, and then we were created and we came here like beasts, like anything else. So that is the sixth day creation. There's another creation that's going to be talked about now. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2. Let's go to chapter 2. And start at verse 1.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Elohim had created and made.
Hallelujah. So we see here the seventh day he rested. He didn't do any work. And the seventh day is hallowed. He sanctified it. He separated this day. This is why the Shabbat day is the only day with a name, Shabbat day, and everything else is in relation to it, how far it is to it. So he created that. All right. Now, does the beast of the earth care about that? The beast of the earth is going to eat every day. It's going to do whatever it needs to do. It don't care about sanctifying anything. It care about what it was created to do. So now we're going to drop down to the new creation. All right. Verse 4, continue.
These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created. In the day that Yahweh Elohim made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew, for Yahweh Elohim had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground.
All right. So man was here, right? He was here, but he just doing whatever. He just here. He don't know what's going on. He just a beast, right? Just like any animal that's new into the earth. He doesn't realize at this point that he has to do work. He has to do certain things to get food. He's just a creation. Verse 6.
But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And Yahweh Elohim formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul.
All right, so let's look at that here. So now you have specifically who he's talking about with Elohim in verse 7. It's saying Yahweh Elohim. So now it's letting you know, okay, it's the mighty ones, but it's the Most High now forming. Initially, it was just the mighty ones. The mighty ones was forming. The mighty ones is creating. But the Most High is saying, this creation, I'm going to do something now. Now I'm sanctifying from the creation that was already created, and I'm forming it. Let's see what that word formed means. Yatsar. The word for form is yatsar. H3335, and that's literally to squeeze into shape. Can you squeeze air into shape? If something is not here, can you squeeze? There's nothing to squeeze. You have to have something to squeeze. So this 6-day creation, you have to have something already created to shape. So the Most High on this 8th day is shaping, because remember, you had 7 days, you had the week, you had completion. Now you have something different. If you just continue with everything you do, and then you just, okay, it goes back to the first day, right? And continue 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, same, nothing has changed. But when you have something different now you have the 8th day. He's shaping. That's not the same as creating. The word for creating is asah. That's when there's nothing there. And then you get something from nothing. That's creating. The creation, that creation, he's told you everything was created in them 6 days. Then the 7th day he rested. So the 8th day is the shaping of something that was already here. And this is the representation of that. All right, Tamshi.
Verse 8. And Yahweh Elohim planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed.
Okay, so you had Eden. Eden was already here, but now he has a different place. He's planting this 8th day man in the Garden of Eden. What is the garden? Let's look at that. The Hebrew word for garden is gan. It's a garden, a fenced place, right? H1598 is the root word. Ganan, to hedge about. That is the protected place. So the Most High took this 8th day man that he shaped, and he put him in the protected place, the hedged place, the fenced place. So again, The difference between the 6th-day man and the 8th-day man, the 8th-day man is inside of a hedged protection. He's got the protection, the spiritual wisdom that's going to protect him from the danger that's out there. The 6th-day man doesn't understand that. He can only deal with the things that is directly in front of him. All right, so let's move on. So there you have the two creations. You have the 6th day and the 8th day creation. Let's move on. Let's go to Genesis chapter 5. Remember, I told you about that representation, why we're teaching our kids, for what purpose. So I just want to read one verse here. Genesis, Bereshit chapter 5 and verse 3.
All right, Genesis chapter 5 and verse 3. And Adam lived 130 years and begot a son in his own likeness after his image, and called his name Seth.
So in his own likeness. So he had a son that looked like him. That's the likeness, right? But then it said, after his image. Your son could look like you, but not necessarily be after your image. And let's take a look at that word, image, again, so we understand that concept. Salem. Again, the Salem is the representation, like the replica. This is a replica. He's just like me. Likeness, he looks like me, but no, his character is like mine. His spirit is like mine. His character is not like a beast. The 6th-day creations, their characters are like beasts. They get angry, they're going to do angry stuff. They get hungry, they're going to eat whatever. Like any other beast on this earth. But Adam was not so. Remember, Cain and Abel, both of them were the sons of Adam. But guess what? Cain slew Abel. Cain might have looked like his father, but Abel was in the image of his father. He did righteousness. He knew how to please the Most High. So when he was killed, Yah gave Adam Seth in return. And Seth now carried on the image of the Most High that was passed to Adam, now passed to Seth, and eventually on to Shem, and then into Jacob and into the 12 tribes. All right. So we see that concept. So when somebody is going to be like you in spirit, because not just like you in looks, because that's likeness, right? But like you in spirit, then you have to teach them these things. You have to teach him how to be the 8th-day man, because if he's made just like you in a 6th day, that's what the likeness is. That's a 6th-day creation. He gonna get angry just like you. He gonna get hungry just like you. He's gonna have the same emotions that any other human being has, but he has to be taught how to operate in the image of the Most High. That is the 8th-day man. That's completely different. All right, so I just wanted to read that real quick. All right, so let's move on. Let's go to Colossians. Colossians chapter 1. We got some comments. We're going to start that at verse 14. All right. That's right. Cain didn't have the image of the Most High. Absolutely. Cain might have had the likeness of Adam, but he was nothing like him in spirit. Adam understood that he had to offer unto the Most High. And Abel understood that he had to offer unto the Most High the best of what he had. And instead of Cain, instead of asking his brother and asking his dad, hey, why were you accepted? What did you do? What's different in you than me? Instead of asking, now let me just kill him. Let's get rid of him. That's the same thing they did. Let's just kill the children. Let's get rid of them. Instead of trying to say, how can I be set apart? How can I get the blessing of the Most High? Now let's kill him, get rid of him. So Colossians chapter 1, and we're going to read 14 through 19.
All right. In whom we have redemption through his blood,
My apologies. Start this at
Okay. Power of darkness and has translated us into the kingdom of his dear son.
all right, so we
In
know
whom we have
that dear
redemption.
son is Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. So that's the son of the Most High. So this is who we're talking about now. Verse 14.
In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins.
All right, so again, who? The son. We have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. All right, verse 15.
Who is the image of the invisible Elohim, the firstborn of every creature.
All right, so when the Most High wanted to give an image to the invisible God, because remember, the Most High is invisible. He's a spirit. You have things that are terrestrial, that's the carbon-based, need water, oxygen, all that type of stuff. Then you have, the fifth day creation and the fish and the birds, they either have lungs that gills to breathe underwater, or they have bones that are hollow that they can fly, right? So you have those creatures. And then now you have the source of all this, which is the Most High Spirit. He's beyond all of this. He sits on top of the firmament, the three heavens, and the third heaven. And he's invisible. But when he wanted to give an image to something invisible, here it is. You have Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Verse 16. And that's why he's the firstborn of every creature.
For by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers, all things were created by him and for him.
Okay. So by him all things were created. How was light created? Did he did he hit a remote? We can only go by what he says. We can't make something up. He said it. Let there be light. That was a word. He spoke the word, and whatever he speaks happens. So by his word, the firstborn of every creature, the image of the invisible Elohim, all things were created. The things that are in heaven, earth, visible, invisible, thrones, dominions, all these powers, everything that came into existence was created through the word of the Most High. The Most High said it. And when he wanted to give that word, which is invisible, you can't see my words. Can you see my words? Anybody? Can anybody see my words? No, you can't see it. So when he decided, I'm going to give an image to that word, what it's going to look like, which is the word of the Most High. What does it look like? It looks like righteousness. And what does that righteousness look like? It looks like that man when he's walking and when he's talking, when he's living, when he's breathing. That's the image of it. Tamshi?
Verse 17. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell.
Hallelujah. So he is the head of the body. Why is he the head of the body? Which body he the head of? He the head of that eighth day man. The sixth day man is not subject to this. We read that. We started off with that. He can't be subject to that. But the eighth day man is shaped by the word of Yah. So his body is fashioned like everybody else. Hey, I'm hungry. Here, pig runs across the street. Hey, I can eat it. I'm eating because I'm a sixth day man, right? The eighth day man is shaped by the word of Yah. The word of Yah says, hey, listen, I came to you and your people and told you, you can't eat that. That's going to make you unclean physically, spiritually, and mentally. Can't eat that. So this is him shaping. It's being shaped by the word. And he's the head of the body because the head tells the body what to do. My foot ain't telling my head what to do. My head has my brain. which tells the rest of my body what to do. So if you're part of that body of that eighth day man, that word is telling you what to do. Now it may take time for that signal to get there. We all got reaction time, right? Some quicker than others. But the instructions is coming from the head, and he's the head, that word. That's the difference. So let's move on. Let's go to Matthew chapter 13. Matthew chapter 13. And we're going to read verses 10 through 17. So we see that when he wants to give an image of the Most High, when he wants to give that, he didn't trust that to say any word witness that came out. He chose one person, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, period, to say this is what it looks like. But at the end of the day, he shaped many different eighth day men along the way. And when you are an eighth day man, certain things are going to be given to you that are not going to be given to the sixth day man. If you know somebody's a vegan and don't eat meat, you're going to walk up to him and give him, hey, I just cooked some burgers. Here you go. Well, he going to take it and throw it out. He's like, I'm not going to do nothing with this. This is not for me. I eat vegetables. So it's the same thing spiritually. You a sixth day man? Here's some eighth day spirit. Here's some eighth day word instruction. It's given to you so that you can follow it. But if you're not going to do that, all right, I'm going to stop giving it to you. For what?
Matthew chapter 13 and verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest you unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given.
All right, so again, that 6 day person, they giving the same information everybody else got. If you're a normal human being without injury, if I light a fire in your leg, you're going to scream and holler. It's going to burn. That's given to everybody. Well, nobody not giving that. All right. So that's the regular rules that apply to everybody. But some things, like the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is in heaven, but the kingdom of Elohim is inside. The kingdom of God is in you. When he's going to give you some of these mysteries about what's going on in heaven, why are they telling you what's going on in heaven? Why would they tell you? Why would you tell any person what's going on in heaven? Anybody, period. What's going on in heaven? Who cares? We here on earth. Why do we care about what's going on? Kingdom of heaven is coming here. You might want to know what's coming, right? And let it be done on earth as where. So the spiritual man, the eighth day man, concerned with what's going on in heaven, because he's trying to emulate. Because again, remember, he's a representation of what's going on in heaven. He is built after the fashion, the shape of those in heaven. Those in heaven are spiritual. And that spirit is inside of you. That's what it looks like. You can't see that. But when he wants to give a physical form to that, is what your actions look like, how you carry yourself. So these mysteries, they're not given to everybody. They're given to the eighth day man, because the eighth day man is going to put it in place so that he can live forever. The 6th day man not going to live forever. That creation is going to change.
Verse 12. For whosoever has, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever has not, from him shall be taken away, even that he has. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which says, By hearing you shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand and should be converted, and I should open your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. To see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them.
Again, so this is created to be a 6-day man, created to be candle wax. You are going to be used for a purpose. Shine some light temporarily, but he's going to go out. And that's it for you. If you're meant to be an 8th-day man, and kind of highlight the whole chapter of Romans and really just prove that Paul did not change the law. Paul is speaking pertaining to the law. Now, you don't understand the law, you're going to take it and run all kind of directions. When he's saying, I'm speaking to those that know the law. So you were concerned, different thought, because you know the law. So shout out to the defenders of the throne and Brother Shamar, Scott, for having us. Great show, learned a lot. And we look forward to coming on again and possibly having you come on with us. So praise Yah. So Romans, Ramin, chapter 1. And we're just going to read. We're going to read verses 18 through 24.
All right, Romans chapter 1 and verse 18. For the wrath of Elohim is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men who hold the truth in unrighteousness. Because that which may be known of Elohim is manifest in them, for Elohim has showed it unto them. For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power in Godhead, so that they are without excuse. Because that when they knew Elohim, they glorified him not as Elohim, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened.
All right, so our nation, Yasharal, although we were created 6-day men like everybody else, the Most High came to us directly and said, well, because your forefathers were 8th-day men, I'm going to pass it on to you. I'm going to teach you how to be that symbol of the 8th-day man, that image of what the 8th-day man looks like, that replica of the 8th-day man. I'm going to show you what it is. Now, can we specifically be that? We already messed it up. We can never be that. But we can be like unto him. We can be a symbol of him and do his will.
Verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible Elohim into an image made like unto corruptible man, into birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things.
So this is, like what the Egyptians did. They took animals and they put them on a man's head and made them the bird God and dog, Rufus, the god of the underworld, whatever these weird names they come up with, Anubis and all this. We ain't even supposed to mention the names. That's what they did. That's why we were such an abomination to the Egyptians, because we was taking your cow, the same when you walking around talking holy, and we sacrificed them at a barbecue. So they like, yeah, y'all stay over there. Tell them you raise cattle, because they was worshiping these things. So you go take an image of the Most High when he said, look, I didn't give you anything. I didn't give you anything that was a replica of me so that you can think that that's what I look like. You know he don't look like that. You know he didn't see no picture of a cross in the clouds or a fish. And you know you didn't see all those things. And you still going to take that and say, that's him? They can do that because they don't know. They literally had a fish god come to them, a demon, an angel in the image of a fish or image of whatever. These is real entities coming to these people. They ain't making it up. That's who he sent to the mother nations to keep them away. That's what the other angels did, not us. We got the raw, rugged 100 truth. So it's even more wicked for us to do that. You're going to look at a retard, if that's the right word. What's the proper word for it? Mentally handicapped, slow kid, the kid with the helmet on or whatever, the disabled kid. I come from the generation. We just said we were unpolitically correct, and what you gonna do about it? You're gonna get your butt whooped. That's it. But I don't mean to disrespect nobody. The disabled kid, right? You look at the disabled kid and he can't do algebra and he's in the 8th grade or the 10th grade. Are you looking at him like something wrong with him? No, because he's mentally disabled. The fact that he might be able to tie his shoes, praise God, because he's not on the same wavelength. So you here on the other side, you have been given this university education in spirituality. And if you are a college graduate and you can't do addition and subtraction, they're going to look at you like something wrong with you. Different standard. Tamshi? And you're reading that through verse 24.
Yep. Verse 24, wherefore Elohim also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
So when you are so comfortable with uncleanness and lasciviousness and just satisfying the lust of your heart, no matter what your mind lusts after, not considering whether it's right or wrong, at least on an earthly standpoint, from a 6-day standpoint. Don't even care about that, from the fact that man and woman, man and woman don't come together, we cease to exist. You're going to get hit with even worse things, with the fact that you trying to be a whole nother sex. You trying to be something that you're not. You dishonoring your own body amongst each other. He will turn you over to that if you're comfortable. Since you want to be something that's going to be you want to be candle wax, then be the candle wax. We need candle wax. But you, Israel, and you set apart Goyim, or set apart Gentiles that are clinging on to Yah's word, you weren't created that way. You were created to sanctify yourself from those things. Let's move on. Let's go to Genesis chapter 17. And now we're going to go into the examples that Yah has given us of this 8th day creation. Bereshit chapter 17. Yah is going to always give you an example. He's not just going to give you some weird doctrine that you have to understand. He's going to show you a constant example of this. Genesis 17, we're going to read 9 through 14.
Genesis chapter 17 and verse 9. And Elohim said unto Abraham, you shall keep my covenant, therefore, you and your seed after you in their generations. This is my covenant which you shall keep between me and you and your seed after you. Every man-child among you shall be circumcised.
All right, so circumcision is what separates the children of Israel from any other 6-day creation that was created. Every beast, every animal was created on the 6th day. This is what separates that. And that separates from every other human being that was created on the 6th day. That because of Yah and his word, we are doing this to ourselves. Not because it's what, our forefathers did or didn't. No, because Yah said to do this. Because maybe some of your forefathers cut their face. They was amongst Hamites, and that was just the culture. And Yah said, don't cut your face. But here, this is what changes us. We are now different than any other creature on the earth because we are doing this only because Yah said do this. Jump to verse 12. Because we know what circumstances.
Genesis.
Go ahead.
Chapter 17.
And verse 12.
And verse 12. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with the of any stranger, which is not a thief.
All right, praise Yah. So now you notice he didn't say, hey, the day you born, just go ahead and circumcise. He's saying 8 days. We were all born 6 days. You gonna go that first week as a regular creature, but it's representing after the first week of your carnal creation, you are becoming an 8th day man. And this is the symbol. This is the what was the word for symbol? Was Selem? This is representation of that. Representation of something spiritual. All right.
Verse 13.
Okay, hold on. You had a question. We had a question here, brother. Sure. We're talking about here. The question was, it's talking about verse 13. He that's born in your house, bought with your money, they need to be circumcised in your house. So what this is talking about is when you have servants that live with you, like you get just say in this country, they get foreigners. Foreigner comes in this country and they let the foreigner come in and they get a visa to work and they work for you. If they're gonna be in your house, Hebrews, they're gonna live in your house under your roof, under your responsibility, they have to be circumcised. Point blank. Now, you got a neighbor that's a Gentile. That's his house. You can't tell him what he got to do. That's on him. And he can come in. That's on you if you want to let him in your house. You might say, I don't want no uncircumcised people in mine. That's your choice. It's your house. But there's no law that says that he can't do that. Now, he can't come keep Passover. He can't come keep the things that are pertaining to Yah. So that's what that's talking about. So if you have children, you got a nephew that live with you, you got cousins, they need to be circumcised if they're going to live in your house. Now, if they just visiting, hey, look, just a stranger can come visit, a Gentile, anybody, I'm holding you up. But if you're going to stay and dwell with me, you got to be under the rules of Yah. Because as for me and my house, we're going to serve Yah. Ain't finna be no pork in the house. Ain't finna be no profaning the Sabbath, all these things, because you in my house. Because this is a house of Yah. Right, in the physical sense. Now, right, correct. All right, continue.
Verse 13. He that is born in your house and he that is bought with your money must needs be circumcised, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man-child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant.
Okay, so just because you get circumcised, does that mean that you just gonna get salvation? No, that's not what that means. If you're circumcised, that means you kept the commandment of Yah. He said, be circumcised. But that's the physical symbol of the covenant. That's the symbol of it. Then you have what the covenant really looks like, the real image. This is the replica of the covenant. The replica is different than what the symbol is. The symbol is just that piece of skin. But the replica of what the covenant really looks like to scale is what Mashiach did. And we copy that. We keep the commandments. We love our neighbors like ourselves. We love Yah with all our heart, strength, mind, and soul. And we keep his commandments. And this is one of them. Ain't no man jumping in line and go cut off a piece of anything down there. Or woman. Ain't no woman trying to do that to her son. You saw what she said to Moses, you bloody man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and think about it. Moses just delivered the people. And then now he's circumcising his son. And then the next verse, right after that, they talk about he about to kill Moses. Yah about to kill Moses. That's how important the circumcision is. Wait a minute. Whoa. And Moses' son was half Gentile. Oh, but who was his father? A Levite. So Yah is saying, nah, bruh. I don't care what that mother is. That mother might not be of your culture. He an Israelite because the father turns the seed. You better cut that boy off. Cut that piece of that boy or I'm cutting you. And you saw what happened. He did what he had to do. All right, so let's move on. So that killed that whole doctrine of, if both your parents ain't this, so then why would Moses' son have to get? Why are we gonna kill Moses for not circumcising? And furthermore, with that foolish statement that both your parents gotta be Israel, you cutting off David, you cutting off the whole house of David, you cutting off Mashiach, you cutting all these people off. You just might as well jump in with the rest of the carnal Israelites that got killed off and sent in captivity. Racist. All right, so let's move on. Let's get another example. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 23. Leviticus chapter 23. This is not a coincidence. This is not a doctrine that we're making up. He's showing you this an example over and over again. And he's tying these things with covenant. Wayakra 23. Let's read 9 through 12. Leviticus chapter 23, start at verse 9.
And Yahweh spake unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharal, and say unto them, When you be come into the land which I give unto you, and shall reap the harvest thereof, then you shall bring a sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest unto the priest.
All right, so this is the first fruits offering. This is different than the unleavened bread offering. All right, so this is different. A sheaf. The unleavened bread offering is a free will offering. Every man must offer according to what Yah has blessed him with that year. So if you blessed with a lot, you give a lot. You blessed with a little, it was a rough year, it was a drought, you give a little. First fruits, not that way. It's a sheaf. A sheaf is a specific amount. It's a dry measure. That's how you know the difference between your first fruit offering and your all males appear offering. Different offering. That's how you can't have first fruits inside of unleavened bread. It's not possible. That's what the Jewish people did. Continue.
Verse 11. And he shall wave the sheaf before Yahweh to be accepted for you on the morrow after the Shabbat. The priest shall wave it.
So why is he saying the morrow after the Shabbat? Why did he just not say the first day of the week? Again, the carnal person just thinking, oh, it's Sunday, it's first day. It is first day. But it's symbolizing something. After the rest, after the first 7 days, he rested, and then a new creation was created, the eighth day man. And here's your example of that. The eighth day man is the first fruits. All right. Continue.
And you shall offer that day when you wave the sheaf a he lamb without blemish of the first year for a burnt offering unto Yahweh.
All right, stop there. Drop down to verse 15.
Okay. And you shall count unto you from the morrow after the Shabbat, from the day that you brought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Shabbats shall be complete. Even unto the morrow after the seventh Shabbat shall you number 50 days, and you shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh.
All right, so 50, Penta, that's Pentecost. So he's giving you another 8th day man offering. You have Pentecost, and he's saying again, from the morrow after the Shabbat, so that would be first fruits. You're going to count 7 Shabbats from first fruits. So you have your unleavened bread week, which ends Monday night. Then that Shabbat that comes right after Monday night, after unleavened bread, the morrow after that Shabbat is the 8th day. That's Sunday, a first day of the week. That's another symbol of first fruit offering. Another example of what the 8th day man is doing. He's doing something different than what the rest of the earth is doing. So you have the 2 witnesses of that, and then now you're going to have a witness of the 8th day again. Now let's go to verse 39. Drop down to verse 39.
Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 39. Also, in the 15th day of the 7th month, when you have gathered in the fruit of the land, you shall keep a feast unto Yahweh 7 days. On the first day shall be a Shabbat. On the 8th day shall be a Shabbat.
All right, oh, now they talking about an 8th day. What? Why is it an 8th day? It's the first day. It'd be a first day. If it's talking about the first day of the week, but it's saying 8th day. And it purposely saying 8th day because there's no such thing as an 8th day of the week, but it's the last holy day of the year. It's representing completion. It's representing infinity, when we will be in the house of Yah forever. We'll be in perfection in his peace forever. That is what is created from day one for the 8th day man. That's what was created for us to inherit. But we were created in the image of a 6th day man. And Yah, after a week, decides, some of you, I'm going to make you an 8th day man. And that's why after a week of life, guess what? You're supposed to get circumcised, the male, because he represents the 8th day man. And tabernacles represents that 8th day is that last great day, because you have, just like in the first month, what we about to have next week, you got 7-day feast, right? When you go back up here in Leviticus 23, it talks about Booth. It talks about another 7-day feast. Verse 34, speak unto the children, saying, on the 15th day of the 7th month shall be a feast of tabernacles for 7 days. That's a 7-day feast. That's just like unleavened bread, 7-day feast. But he has this 8th day to represent perfection. The 8th day, the completion. 7 days is completion. You have your completion. When it's completed, you have a new creation that's going to be forever. And we are the first fruits of that to represent what that looks like. All right, so let's see what this looks like with Mashiach. Let's go to John chapter 20, Yohanan, John chapter 20, because he is the word in flesh. So he's going to live and operate according to the word. So if your understanding of the word is conflicting Mashiach's walk, something's wrong with your understanding, not his walk. The holy days are outlined in his walk. So he's showing you the first fruits of man in this verse here. John, Yohanan, chapter 20. We're going to read 24 through 29.
All right, verse 24. But Thomas, one of the 12, called Didymus, was not with them when Yahushua came. The other disciples therefore said unto him, we have seen the Lord. But he said unto them, except I shall see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and thrust my hand into his side, I would not believe.
What does your book say in verse 25? Where it says, we have seen what? What does your book say, Art?
Mine says the Lord in just the first capital letter L.
Okay. You don't have the revised version again with the names, Yahuwah and all that stuff in there?
Oh yeah, I do. I'm reading from Eastward though.
Okay, read from that version. I want to see what it says there in verse 25. If you have it.
1 second.
If you have it in
Yeah, I
front
got
of
it.
you.
One second. I got it right here.
John 20 and verse 25.
Okay. John 20.
It should say the master.
All right. 20, 25. Let's see. Yep, the master.
Okay. All right. So when you see Lord right there in the New Testament with capital L and lowercase O-R-D, that sometimes in the New Testament can mean Yahweh. And that's why the brother kind of paused for a second, because you don't know. You have to read in context. So when it says we have seen the Lord in Hebrew, we have seen the Adonai. So we know it's talking about Mashiach. It's not talking about Yahweh. Or we have seen Adonai Elohim, which is the master of the spirits, which is the word. Or we have seen Yahweh Elohim. So this is why, when people are starting, I try to advise them to go with all these books that change all names, because sometimes they make mistakes and then you're losing context. It's better for you to learn how to read and decipher who we're talking about so that you don't make those kind of mistakes. And that's just an opinion of mine. All right, Tamshi.
Verse 26. And after 8 days again, his disciples were within, and Thomas with them. Then Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst. Then came Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, "Peace be unto you."
All right, so you have 8 days again. And after 8 days, why 8 days? Remember, he was on their preparation day, the Jewish preparation day. He was buried. He kept Passover before. He didn't keep Passover the same day they kept it. So they had a different Passover. So the Jews' preparation day, which would have been the 14th of their days, on that lunar calendar they used, he was buried. 3 full days and 3 full nights. So you had 14, 15, 16, 17. All right. 3 full days, 3 full nights. And he was seen by the women. Remember, he was seen by the women first. He said, "Don't touch me. I have not been to the Father." So he was in the grave and he didn't be to the Father. And then now, if you follow that story, 8 days later, now he's showing up. That's letting you know he just had first fruits. Because when you do the math, it brings you right after first fruits. So he had first fruits at this point. So he's even showing you in his coming back when first fruits is supposed to be taken care of. And he's also showing you that he's the first fruits of them that slept. The 8th day man. All right, finish it up.
Verse 27. Then said he to Thomas, "Reach here your finger and behold my hands, and reach here your hand and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing." And Thomas answered and said unto him, "My master and my Elohim." Yahushua said unto him, "Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed."
Everybody gonna believe when he show up. Say every knee gonna bow, every tongue gonna confess. It's too late at that point. But he said, "Blessed are those that have not seen but believe." We believe in. That's why greater things we doing. He was doing miracles, and people was hearing about the miracles. And those people saw, like, when you believe somebody you can tell if somebody's seen something. We believe in off a story from other slaves. That's a miracle. The devil got the best marketing team out there. They got everything. They got all control of everything. But yet we still believe in the word of ex-slaves. All right, so let's We got two more for the conclusion. Let's go to the 8th day, the physical 8th day, what it looks like in our reality. Isaiah chapter 60, Isaiah chapter 60. We're going to give you two examples. We're going to give you an example in the Old Testament and an example in the New Testament of what this 8th day looks like. Once we are here to realize this 8th day. Isaiah chapter 60, this starts at verse 1.
Arise, shine, for your light is come, and the glory of Yahweh is risen upon you. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But Yahweh shall arise upon you, and his glory shall be seen upon you.
Because when this darkness comes, it's a spiritual darkness. It'll be a physical darkness too, but it's going to be a spiritual darkness where the things of this carnal world aren't working. I can't just take some gold and live. I can't take my credit card out and live. I can't spend some money and live. I can't use my popularity and just live. There's spiritual things going on. So when people realize their carnality ain't gonna save their life, they're human like anybody else. They just want to live. So they're gonna over to spirituality because they want to live. So they're gonna see that on us and realize, oh, this is a spiritual thing. Verse 3.
And the Gentiles shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. Lift up your eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together, they come to you. Your sons shall come from afar, and your daughters shall be nursed at your side. Then shall you see and flow together, and your heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto you. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto you. The multitude of camels cover you. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of Yahweh. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto you. The rams of Nabaioth shall minister unto you. They shall come up with acceptance on my altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory.
So once they realize, the nations realize, wow, so these are the sons and daughters of the Most High, and he has glorified them, and they are now in position of power. In order for them to live, they have to now worship the Most High through you. So this is the seventh day. This is the ending of this, like the sabbatical kingdom leading up into forever. And these nations want forever. They realize, I'm not going to get forever like in the days of old. Things are different now. Verse 8.
Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their windows? Surely the owl shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring your sons from afar, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of Yahweh your Elohim, and to the Holy One of Yasharal, because it has glorified you.
All right, so the same ships of Tarshish brought us here. So them same ships of Tarshish gonna bring us back. Those are some big ships, the barges that carrying all them containers and all that. That will be the equivalent to the ships of Tarshish back then. Verse 10. And notice, we ain't going home broke, Israel. Silver and gold ain't really all that in the new age, but it's still worth something. And get up. We taking it the same way we borrowed from the Egyptians. We borrowing on the way out. That's a Hebrew borrowing. It's not the same. Verse 10.
And the sons of strangers shall build up your walls, and their kings shall minister unto you. For in my wrath I smote you, but in my favor have I had mercy on you. Therefore your gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut down day nor night, that men may bring unto you the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought.
And how you know that this is still talking about the seventh day? Because there's still day and night. So this is the sabbatical kingdom they're talking about. Peace. And what would make all these nations come up to us? Because Martin Luther King or Malcolm X was some great guy that just everybody respected him. Nah, this got to be somebody that got enough power to wipe out all the forces if you don't agree. Mashiach, the only person with that kind of strength and power. If you waiting on a man here to do it, it ain't gonna happen. It hasn't happened in the history of the world. It's not gonna happen. You need divine intervention, a miracle. Spirit, heaven is the only way.
Verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that would not serve you shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
Okay, so let's just get this in context. For the nation and the kingdom that will not serve who? Thee is who? The Most High, Yahushai, Moses. Who's thee? That thee is you, eighth day man, Yasharal. The children of, they gonna serve the children of Israel. Period. You not gonna skip over the priest of Yah and go straight to Yah. Israel couldn't skip the priest of Yah and go straight to Yah. What makes you think you a Gentile, you gonna skip his order and go straight to Yah? Because Mashiach here. Nah. Right. No Jew nor Gentile. You're right. There wasn't gonna be no Jew, no Gentile. You still gonna have the 12 tribes. Right, because Jewish is made up. But anyways, the kingdom or nation that's not going to serve you will perish. Those nations will be utterly wasted. Verse 13.
The glory of Lebanon shall come unto you, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted you shall come bending unto you, and all they that despise you shall bow themselves down at the soles of your feet, and they shall call you the city of Yahweh, the Zion of the Holy One of Yasharal.
All right, so do you think that the Most High gonna take a proud, idolatrous, lustful, wicked, no compassion towards his own people, much less another nation, and have you to represent Israel where the nation's gonna come and bow down to you? These humble people of another nation who either were humbled or are humble people, regardless, they're gonna be humble, gonna bow down to you and lay down at your feet, and y'all gonna allow you to be the representation. He gonna wipe out all the wicked, but he gonna allow you to be the representation. You ain't keeping his commandments. You ain't trying to be converted. No. If you carry the Gentile ways into this seventh day, you're going to be wiped out with those Gentile ways. Period. Because it's all being set up for this eighth day where you can't be wiped out. Once you make that eighth day, that's it. There ain't no wiping you out. You forever. And you think y'all gonna mess that up for you? You think the angels gonna mess that up for you?
Verse 15. Whereas you have been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through you, I will make you an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. You shall also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shall suck the breast of the kings, and you shall know that I, Yahweh, am your Savior and your Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob.
You want to know what that looks like? Go back and Google them pictures where you saw the mammy, the Aunt Jemima lady or whatever, or Big Mama over here breastfeeding some white baby. Them Gentiles were sucking the breasts of kings. That was a queen that had a king, because we are the kings and queens of the earth, a royal bloodline. Well, if it was good for you, it's good for us. So now we're going to have our sisters, because now we in a different situation where, you know what, I might not want that baby biting on my head. We go get the nanny. Let her, she has a child too. Child need milk. And these was ex-kings and queens from other nations. That's how things have changed. And think about it, when it's a glory unto you to say, hey, I done helped be part of nursing one of God's chosen people. Verse 17.
For brass will I bring gold, and for iron will I bring silver, and for wood, brass, and for stones, iron. I will also make your officers peace, and your exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in your land, wasting nor destruction within your borders. But you shall call your walls salvation, and your gates praise.
Does that sound like Jerusalem right now? Does it sound like anywhere, like Sister Farr says? It definitely don't sound like the Holy Land. The Holy Land looked like a setting in Black Ops, in the video game, with all the buildings shot up and all kind of stuff, and bomb shelters. Definitely. Absolutely. Mashiach is definitely not here right now. Because look what his land looked like, whether you think it's America, Moab, or Utah, or whatever foolishness you think it is, or Honduras. I done heard all the weirdest stuff. Kenya, all these places you say is the holy Negro land in Central and Western Africa. None of these places have peace. So that ain't it. All right, so now we're getting into the 8th day. Verse 19, because now you have no violence, you have all this stuff. But this is how you know you're getting into the 8th day, right here, verse 19.
The sun shall the sun shall be no more your light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto you, but Yahweh shall be unto you an everlasting light in your glory, in your Elohim, your glory.
Now, the closest thing that I can remember that kind of fits that was last year. Remember when they had that solar eclipse? And it was like the sun wasn't there, but it was light outside. It was a different, like the light was different. Like we videotaped it. It was like a dim light. It was weird. It was blocked. It wasn't out, but it was light out. And that's just like a earnest of what it's going to look like to have no sun burning you by day or night, but it's sun out.
He's also talking about in the spiritual sense, the goodness and the righteousness. You got a great confidence and you're experiencing that higher level of light in your legit life. Because you're going to be 8 days, so you're not physically flesh-wise, right? You're not experiencing life. It might not even be the light or brightness that we as our eyes remember. It's a different spiritual thing.
Absolutely. 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 When you think about, what is the sun, moon, and stars for in the first place? It's for a calendar. Right, to tell time. What's to tell time for? So you can know when to keep the holy days. It's the 8th day, every day a holy day. So what I need the sun, moon, and stars to tell me that I need to worship Yah today. Every day we worship, all day, every day, because it's perfection. So there's no need for it no more. They're servants just like everybody else. Just like there's no need for the priest to do animal sacrifices and all that in the 8th day, because what you gonna kill? Who's gonna sin? There's no sin. There's no blood.
Dreams that you feel like are light and you may represent peace and Yah in that dream. And then you have warning dreams that may be darker or demonic. You can tell the feeling that you have in those type of dreams. When the dream is darker versus when the dream seems lighter and more like a message coming to you. So just my only physical experience I must describe.
You brought up a great point. When you sleep, can you recall it being a daytime? I know it's light out. I know it's light out. I don't remember really, I've seen luminaries in my dreams, but at the end of the day, there's light in your dream. Where'd that light come from? Where'd that light come from? So you can see light that ain't got no source. Ain't no light bulb in your brain. So a different type of light. That's earnest of the light of things to come. All right, verse 20.
Your sun shall no more go down, neither shall your moon withdraw itself, for Yahweh shall be your everlasting light, and the days of your mourning shall be ended. Your people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified.
Because they will be eighth day men. That's how you know it's talking about the eighth day man. They all righteous. It said all men are wicked. All men are liars. That's the 6th day man. We haven't transcended into the 8th day man. We're trying to show we're campaigning to be the 8th day people. We're trying to show the Most High, yeah, we can live forever. We showing you, y'all. We can serve you forever. We can be changed. We can be shaped, y'all. That's what we're trying to show the Father. I'll finish it up, out.
Verse 22. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, Yahweh, who hasten it in his time.
Hallelujah. So let's go to the conclusion. Let's go to Revelation 21 for the conclusion. And keep in mind, you know, the Revelation is like the recap of the entire book. So Revelation chapter 21, we start that at verse 1 for the conclusion. And again, we are now given a better and further understanding of what the 8th day will look like to us, how we will realize that the first fruits of Mashiach and his people that actually live on to that salvation. This is what salvation looks like. Revelation 21 and verse 1.
Verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea.
All right, so this is what this new creation looked like. There's no more seas, there's no ocean. And it's a new heaven and a new earth. Why does it have to be a new heaven and a new earth? Well, once you touch something, it'll never be the same. You unplug, can't see anything. Once you touch something, it'll never be the same. So once you touch something, it's been flawed. So the angels flawed heaven first. They left their former state before we even messed up. So at the end of the day, even heaven has to be recreated because it has to be made into perfection. The angels that left, the third that left with adversary the devil, they got to get judged, which means they got to be changed into something carnal, something physical so that it can die. An angel can't die. It's a spirit. So these things have to happen first. All right, Tomshi.
Verse 2. And I, Yohanan, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from Elohim out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
So they get another witness. You got John 3 and 13. It says, no man has gone into heaven except for he who has descended from heaven. So heaven is coming here. We're not going to heaven. We're not dying and going up to heaven. That's not how it works. Heaven is coming here. Your body is in the grave. Now your spirit might be with the Father in heaven, but your body's right here, waiting to be raised up to receive judgment on whether or not you're going to be in this 8th day or not.
Verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Elohim is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Elohim himself shall be with them, and be their Elohim.
All right, so Yah is going to be here. The tabernacle of Yah is with men. Yah can't come here. It's flawed. He perfect. If he come down here and he touch something that's imperfect, that makes him imperfect. Nah, he's so perfect that he got an entity that perfects everything so that he stays perfect. Just like your body got an immune system that kills off everything bad so that you can live.
Verse 4. And Elohim shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, And there shall be no more, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away.
And pain has a purpose. There's no more purpose for that pain. You've reached it. You've reached that purpose. And why is he wiping away tears from our eyes? We just had 1,000 years of peace. Well, when you find out, man, this person made it with me to the sabbatical kingdom, 1,000 years, and they died at 800 years old. Oh, man. You know he ain't making it. You know he ain't going to see the 8th day. The devil locked away for 1,000 years in the sabbatical kingdom, and you died? Sin causes death. So we losing loved ones. We losing people that we really wanted to move on with us, but it's not our choice. So at the end of the day, in that switch over into the 8th day, we won't even have those emotions. So you wouldn't be missing your person. You wouldn't be sorrowing for this person. You wouldn't be hurting. You wouldn't be bleeding. You wouldn't be dying. You wouldn't be worried, because we've reached that level of perfection. We have reached Yah's will. Bless you. When you've reached Yah's will, how can you be upset at Yah's will? And you understand it. You actually understand Yah's will at this point. We can't understand that now. That's why he says, man, eye has not seen, ear has not heard. You can't even fathom what he has for us, because you can't understand it, because you can't understand him. Verse 5.
And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcomes shall inherit all things, and I will be his Elohim, and he shall be my son.
So what are you overcoming? The devil? Yeah. You overcoming that 6-day creation, that flesh. You overcoming that your body is designed to sin. And your driver, which is the spirit, is saying, nah, we're not going to sin. We're going to repent. We're going to avoid. We're going to admonish. We're going to rebuke. So this is what we're overcoming. We're overcoming the flesh. Because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's how it was designed. It wasn't designed to be here forever. It has to be changed to be here forever. The spirit we have was meant to be here forever. Verse 8 is the warning.
But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death.
And that right there, all liars. That's scary. A white lie. That's a liar too, right? What about an ignorant liar? I didn't know. You still lied. The fearful, what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of losing money. I'm afraid of losing a loved one. I'm afraid of losing my popularity. I'm afraid of losing my job. I'm afraid of losing my time. Okay, you fearful. Get your behind up out of here. The unbelieving. I don't believe it. Yeah, I say I believe it, but my actions show me I don't believe it. Because if I believed in righteousness, I'd be trying to do it, because I know that's the only way I'm going to get the kingdom. A chance at it, don't guarantee, but a chance. The abominable. You eat an abomination. You do an abomination. Murderers. Self-explanatory. Whoremongers. Sorcerers. What is pharmakeia? Witchcraft. Pharmacy. Idolaters. That means you made yourself into God instead of the Most High. Liars. All have their part in the lake of fire, which burns with brimstone. That's the second death. Ain't no coming back from that second death. That's why what are you willing to give up for that second death? Everything. Because I don't want that second death. But that first death, I might die. Today, might die tomorrow. But that's all right, because I believe in a second life, an eternal life. But that second death is what you really working against. You don't want that. Ain't no going around that. That's why they got you out saying YOLO, right? You only live once. So do whatever wickedness you want to do, because you're only gonna have a chance to do that wickedness once. That's a mantra of the devil. Verse 9.
And there came unto me one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come here, I will show you the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from on high.
Oh, get that you floating up in heaven stuff out your head. It's coming here, and you are going to be on the mountains. It's also telling you other places Jerusalem will be the highest point in the world. Ain't no, everything is going to be flattened. Then will be all these mountains. You got one point that everybody going to see everywhere. And that's going to be lifted up, and everybody around the world is flowing to that one place. And guess what? If you don't do righteousness, you ain't gonna get no food. There ain't no ocean you can go fish in. You gotta get rain so you can grow your food. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, it says you'll be no rain. You don't come up and keep tabernacles, ain't gonna be no rain. You don't come respect this 8th day, ain't gonna be rain. You know where you can go. And you can't die. Nothing. So you're gonna do what you gotta do, because it's not even in you to do that no more. Tom Shee.
Verse 11. Having the glory of Balaam, and her light was like unto a stone, most even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal.
What color is a jasper stone?
And had a wall.
Anybody? What color is a jasper stone? What color is a jasper stone? Brown. This jasper stone is brown, clear like a crystal. Because that new Jerusalem is us, the Spirit. This holy city is us, the Spirit that is descending onto the people, the 8th day people that are becoming this new thing that's going to live forever. That's why it looked like jasper stone, clear as crystal, because it's a spirit. Verse 12.
And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 children of Yasharal.
So they're telling you what this building looks like. You are Yah's building. The tabernacle of Yah is dwelling with men, remember? You knew Jerusalem. You knew Jerusalem. These names, the 12 tribes of Israel, because you make it up. Tom Shee.
On the east 3 gates, on the north 3 gates, on the south 3 gates, and on the west 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb.
All right, then you got the 12 disciples, the apostles. That's the foundation. Verse 15.
And he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof. And the city lies foursquare, and the length is as large as the breadth. And he measured the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. And he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits, according to the measure of a man, that is, of the angel.
144 cubits, the measure of a man. Sound a lot like the 144,000. Interesting. Keep going.
And the building of the wall of it was jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass.
I'm gonna make a man like unto, what does it say in Isaiah chapter 4? I'm gonna make you a man like as unto fine gold. It's exactly what he said. In jasper, melanin color. Tom Shee.
And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. The first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third a chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, and the eighth beryl, the ninth a topaz, the 10th a chrysoprasus, the 11th a jacinth, the 12th an amethyst.
All right, that's the ephod. It's telling you what time it is. Verse 21.
And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was one of pearl. And the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass. And I saw no temple therein, for Yahweh Elohim are the temple of it. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. For the glory of Elohim did lighten it, and for him is the light thereof.
Ain't that the same thing we just read? So people are always rejecting the New Testament. It's just a second witness. It's telling you the same thing. Where do you think they got this from? You're just ignorant if you don't want to read it. This is giving you more context. He said, I will magnify the law. When you put a magnifying glass on something, what does it do? Get more blurry? It gets more clear. You can see it better. You can see the details.
And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory.
All right, so if you are in the light of something, you're outside of it. You're not in it. So the light is shining outside of the kingdom, and that's what's lighting up everybody else. You're not in it with us. So all that ain't no Jew and Jim, that's not true. There's always going to be order. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no more night there. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it.
That's what you're going to bring. Your gifts, your glory and your honor, but you ain't coming in there. You in your own land. Our kingdom is for us. That's just order. Just like you have a firstborn, secondborn, thirdborn, fourthborn, so forth and so on, right? Each of them have their own house. That secondborn ain't coming in the firstborn's house like, well, it's our house too. No, it ain't. This is my house. We might all be tribe of Judah or whatever, but at the end of the day, this is the house of David. This is my house. Or this is the house of whoever, the northern tribe. This is the house of Ephraim or whatever. Manasseh ain't walking up in there telling him what he got to do. It says every man will have his own vine and fig tree. You have his own plot to do what he need to do. The nation's going to have theirs, but it's going to be order. But just because they can't be the firstborn, is that hell to them? Finish it up.
And there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defiles, neither whatsoever works abomination or makes a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life.
Hallelujah. So again, this is what this 8th day looks like. This is what we are working towards, that we are trying to enter into a state where we can live forever and have peace. It'd be the first time that in life where we will actually have peace. Don't have to worry about the devil. We don't have pain. There's no crying. There's no sun to bother you. There's no nothing to make you uncomfortable. You can just live like how you were created in the spirit. And the Most High is not going to just give that to anybody. He's going to give that to the people that he has chose and called. And those individuals feared and believed and will receive the mercy, because that's the only way that we receive it. You can't earn your salvation. It's a gift. So if you want that gift, just like you want them consolation prizes, you got to go to the game show. You got to go through the game and at least try and put forth and follow the rules, right? You get a consolation prize if you didn't follow the rules? Nah. That's an amazing consolation prize to live forever. So that's all we're going to do today. Let me see if we have any last questions or comments. Just remember, we have Pesach coming up. The 14th day will start Monday. That is the preparation day. The 15th day at night, the beginning the 15th day, which is Tuesday night, that is Pesach. That's when you physically take the Passover. That's when you physically have the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And from that Tuesday night, you're going to have Tuesday night through Monday night is your unleavened bread. Monday night will also be a Sabbathon. So Tuesday night, if you work at night, you will have to be off. Wednesday during the daytime, you'll have to be off. That following Monday night, which is the 7th day, if you work nights, you will be off. And all day during Tuesday before nightfall will be the ending of your Sabbathon. You can't have any leaven in your house those 7 days. And you're supposed to eat unleavened bread for 7 days straight. All right, so keep in mind, don't go overboard. We definitely want to remove the leaven out of our houses, but make sure that you have the focus properly. The focus is getting the leaven out of you, the sin out of you. The leaven represents, that's symbolic of sin. The real sin is you. That's the real replica of Satan. Satan is adversary. The replica looks like it. It's not him, but it looks like it. That's the sin in you. We're getting that out. That's what that is. So while we're cleaning, we're getting leaven out. We're like, oh, look, I found all this leaven up here. Get it out of here. That's like you. Oh, man, I've been doing this wrong. Let me stop doing this. And you're trying to get this all together for your Pesach offering. So again, all males must appear on the first day of unleavened bread, which is for your Pesach Tuesday night. That means you'll be sanctifying yourself. So that means Sunday night, you should be sanctified. That means before Sunday night, you're clean. Sunday night, day 1, Monday night, day 2. That means going into Tuesday night, you will be 3 days sanctified. So that all males, this is for the men of Israel. So Sunday night, for all the 8th day men, the children of Israel, Sunday night, you cannot touch your wives. Monday night, you cannot touch your wives. All the way to Tuesday night, which brings you into the Sabbathon. So, Brother Cassette, anything else you want to say before we close out?
Nothing on my heart at the moment, but a great class.
Hallelujah. Praise Yah. And appreciate that too, Brother Yafi. So all praises to the Most High Yah. Again, we are Savior Word of Yah and Israelites Gathering. You can visit our website at israelitesgathering.com. If you gained anything from us and would like to donate, you can cash app us at $SWORD ATL. And if you haven't, download our cell phone app that you get on iOS or the free app, and you can always visit our website. So Yah's will, we will see you. We'll try to go ahead and stream for Passover. If not, Yah's will, we'll see you next Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much. I know this was earlier than normal. Things are really heating up where I am, and I hope you're all safe. If you can stay in where it's cool, please do so. I know for us, this is our last triple digit day. Tomorrow we're going to be in the 90s, but it should be a lot more milder than what it is today, although we're still in the 90s. So y'all, may the Most High continue to keep you safe in this crazy Gentile world. I pray he will always keep his angels around you and your family to keep you safe from any harm in these final days. And we know it is getting turbulent on this planet. I mean, we're seeing all of the things that are occurring and destruction that's happening. And we just gotta be safe and be aware of our surroundings at all times. but the Most High will always be there for us. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and be on the lookout for my other lives. Shabbat Shalom, family.